So, welcome to our introduction to Akashic Records. And this is very informal class. This is basically to talk about what are Akashic Records? What is behind our karma, our dharma, our kind of like stuff that we're going through on this planet? Because we've been done so many things, so many lifetimes. And even if you don't believe in reincarnation, even in this lifetime, we repeat patterns of life. Same type of relationship, same type of people we meet. So, what is Akashic Records? Akashic Records is pretty much everything we've done, been, seen, heard, pretty much everything, all the actions, all the thoughts, feelings, and emotions, all the possibilities of thoughts, feelings, and emotions ever since the beginning of time. And it's not just what happened or will happen. It's all the possibilities. It's like that quantum field of infinite possibilities. And it's recorded in a way on our molecular structure, on it's the permeated energy that permeates everything in the world, in the universe. So we have the access to it all the time. It's not outside of us, it's inside. It's pretty much the heart space, the heart awareness that we have that contacts that knowledge. It goes beyond our cognitive mind. It goes beyond the soul because we have multiple souls depending on the culture we've been to. And yet, that being that we are the infinite consciousness, the oneness, is part of the Akashic field. When we contact it, it's interesting because we are always in contact with Akashic field. In our dreams, in meditation, moments of clarity, when we know exactly what is, what it's not, it's all of it. We are part of that universal field of consciousness. The thing is, when we start exploring it, we just go like in that superficial layer a lot of times. Not because we can't, but because we haven't had experience and we haven't asked for it. So, what does create karma? I mean, the field is everything. We can talk about history of the world in there, looking at what actually was or was not. But why Akashic Records? Why study it? Why go in there? A lot of things that in our lives today is connected to the karmic stuff. What is karmic stuff? It's unfinished business, basically. We go from lifetime to lifetime, create contracts, create connections to people. You know how many marriages we've had over our infinite lives? And each one created a vow, created a contract, created something, which till death do us part. But the soul never dies. So we have those soul families, as we call in Akashic Records, meaning collection of souls or connection of beings that travel together from lifetime to lifetime. You've experienced probably something like recognition when you go to a store and you see something, I know that person, and yet you've never met them in this lifetime. Part of it because in another lifetime you might have been married to them, they might have been your child, or you might have killed them on the battlefield. Or they might have raped you in another lifetime when they pillaged those villages. Anytime when, like, that field has infinite possibilities. Our choice creates the events or the karma. So we chose something. Let's say we chose to marry someone 300 years ago. And that marriage might not have been the best thing. You fought, you argued, maybe you killed each other. Maybe somebody else killed your wife or your husband or kidnapped the kids. And you promised to either never do it again or promise to revenge. And this lifetime, you meet them at the workplace. And now there is a conflict. You have no idea why the conflict, but you hate that person. Or you love them and they're married to somebody else. So there's so many nuances, so many possibilities of connection from previous lifetimes that play out right now. So if there was some unfinished business in a previous lifetime, let's say a vendetta, and you meet that person this lifetime, and you're like, oh, my heart is beating so fast. I'm in love. Maybe, might not be. It might be they killed you, or they kidnapped your kids, or they raped your wife. Who knows what happened 300 or 500 or 2,000 years ago, or a million years ago? It might be in a cave that you shared in the Neanderthal period. Doesn't matter. It's unfinished business. So now you think you're in love, you get married, and now the marriage is a battlefield. One, like, why am I talking about this? It's like, okay, so what do we do about this? Do we go from like relationship to relationship trying to replay the same song over and over again? No, because right now there is a technology which is Akashic Records, which to me is a technology. Using prayers, meditation, and grace points on the hand, you actually can shift and change your karma. You can let go of those contracts, even if you don't know what they are. The major tool of Akashic Records is forgiveness. Because when you're in vengeance, there is no forgiveness. So you kill, and then another lifetime you're being killed because now the other person has to have a vendetta against you. And then it continues the cycle of killing or torturing or whatever that unfinished contract is, or stealing. There's so many stuff that's been created over trillions of years. And now in this lifetime, we have an opportunity to let it go. And that's a choice.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally a choice for you to let go of that. Forgiveness is interesting energy. It's not about forgive and forget. It's not about forgive and let them hit you again. It's not about turning the cheek. It's literally letting go of the energy of whatever stuck. With energy of forgiveness, it's just clearing the field. It's not cognitive. It's more about letting go of the connections that's not working right now. So, what is a vendetta or not forgiving? I remember years ago when I just started, I've been doing Akashic Records for, wow, it's almost 30 years now. Um, and I remember my very first conversation about forgiveness in my very first class of Akashic Records. And they're like, you know what? It's like you're taking the poison and thinking the other person will die. I'm like, wait, how? Say it again. Because we are not, we are all energy. So any thought, feeling, emotion that goes through our bodies, affecting our body. So hate, anger, shame, blame, regret, those are toxic. They hurt our body on a cellular level, on an energetic level. So when we hate somebody, what happens? Our hormones start shifting, adrenaline goes up, especially when we see them and I'm like, oh, I want to kill that person. It's like that contraction that not allowing you to have total choice. When you have let go of that, you're like, they created this, whatever that was, but what am I choosing here? Would I let go of that? And I'm going to share the forgiveness prayer with you guys. Let me just, and I'll share the screen so you can see it and we can read it together. 1 second. Move this out of the way so it's not in the way. So let's read it together. I allow the forgiveness of the universe to flow through me, to cleanse me from anything that I have done, been, seen, heard, to anyone or anything, consciously or unconsciously, in any time, space, dimension, or reality. I allow the forgiveness of the universe to flow through me, to cleanse me from anything that I have experienced that was done, been, seen, heard to me by anyone or anything, consciously or unconsciously, in any time, space, dimension, or reality. I allow the forgiveness of the universe to flow through me, to cleanse me from anything that I have done, been, seen, and heard to me by me, consciously or unconsciously, in any time, space, dimension, or reality. Just notice, how do you feel? How does your body feel? Let's do it one more time. I allow the forgiveness of the universe to flow through me, to cleanse me from anything that I have done, been, seen, heard, to anyone or anything, consciously or unconsciously, in any time, space, dimension, or reality. I allow the forgiveness of the universe to flow through me, to cleanse me from anything that I have experienced that was done, been, seen, heard to me by anyone or anything, consciously or unconsciously, in any time, space, dimension, or reality. I allow the forgiveness of the universe to flow through me, to cleanse me from anything that I have done, been, seen, and heard to me, by me, consciously or unconsciously, in any time, space, dimension, or reality. How are you feeling right now? That's how, we start clearing the karma. It doesn't matter what have been done. And as you can see, there is 3 parts to the prayer, because we've been hurt by somebody else. Somebody, we hurt somebody else, and we hurt ourselves. Those 3 components are not different, because if you know that you're one with the universe, you're actually, when somebody hurts you, they hurt themselves. When you hurt somebody else, you hurt you. And when you hurt yourself, you pretty much hurt the universe in general, the whole world. Part of the karma that we encounter is our choices. Our choices created that karma, nothing else. People say, oh, I don't have a choice. My karma leads me blah, 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 blah. But in reality, it's all your previous choices that created the karma. And being as powerful, you created those choices, you can uncreate them. That's where Akashic field comes in, because it's a field of infinite possibility where everything changes. Everything shifts. The quantum field never stays the same. The only thing that's fixed is something that was fixed by our choices. And I'll tell you the story, which kind of brought me into Akashic field fully, because I always was kind of skeptical about spirituality, energy work. I'm a physician. My background is in science. And yet I was always searching for something else. Was doing yoga, was doing meditation, was doing a lot of things. So I think it was, yeah. In 1997, I was going through turmoil between my job. I had my own practice, medical practice. My marriage was kind of in a weird space, and I had no idea what to do. Kind of what do I do? And somebody suggested get Akashic Records consultation. So I was like, okay, I'll find out what I need to do. The psychic will tell me, which was interesting because Akashic Records consultation is not quite psychic consultation. And it was driven by questions. Um, I was asking a lot of questions, but I didn't get answers. We were doing a lot of shifting and changing with prayers and grace points, forgiveness. I felt much lighter, but I didn't get the answers of what to do. Do I leave my marriage? Do I sell my practice? Nothing like that. And by the end, she's actually said, you know what? Would you like to take a class? I'm doing a class at, during the weekend because I'm seeing that at some point you will be teaching it. And I'm like, yeah, right. I have a small child, I have a huge practice, medical practice, and a family, and teaching this. But something in me said yes to that. That was a choice that changed my life pretty much, kind of like shifted directions. I came to the class, a little prehistory because I was trying to sell my practice. And I was in conversation with a business entity that gave me a contract to sell my practice, kind of like, I think in the beginning of the week or in the middle of the week. And they told me to bring the contract signed by Friday morning. The class was Saturday and Sunday. Being a stubborn, or maybe I had the sense of not signing the contract. I didn't sign the contract on Friday, didn't bring it. I said, I'll read it over the weekend. I'll go into the class, I'll look at the options, and then I'll sign it. I went to the class and I enjoyed it tremendously. Like being in the energy of records itself is like being surrounded by love, being in the heart space, being totally expanded, totally like playing in that energy of total allowance, total presence. And I'm like, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. By the end of the class, day two, there was one exercise, kind of like, we don't do it anymore. But at that time, we still had no idea what Akashic Records were, if we were in the records. So it was to check if we're actually working in the records. So we had 6 people sitting in different corners, and you were supposed to ask the same question and see what comes up. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to ask the question if I sell my practice. I know the answer to that, right? I have the contract. And I'm like, the first person is like, you know what? I don't see the sale. Second, no, but you know what? There are some papers. Watch out. Maybe you shouldn't sign them. They will never give you like an advice, but they might kind of like warn you that there is some like underwater currents. And so all 6 people said there is no sale. And I'm like, you know what? That Akashic Records is all bullshit. I know better. I finished the class, I got my certificate, but I'm like, nah, not doing it again. 30 years later, I'm here. But Monday comes in, I'm bringing signed contract, and they're like, you know what? You were supposed to bring it Friday morning. Now, Friday afternoon, we were bought by a bigger company. And right now, all the sales are frozen. And I'm like, huh? But you know what? You can sign the papers for the uh, program and we'll manage it, blah, blah, blah. Forgot the warning, signed it. $70,000 later, I actually lost not the whole 70,000 because I negotiated, but it was a disaster because the company ended bankrupt. And within a couple of months of whatever was going on, I'm like, okay, where's the next class? Akashic Records. Because I realized, like we have infinite possibilities. But as soon as we make a choice, it solidifies. And we cannot move beyond that choice. So my choosing not to bring the contract on Friday morning solidified that I was not bought, which was actually the best thing that could happen. I sold the practice like a few years later, but and left medicine and started teaching Akashic Records and access consciousness and other modalities, knowing what I know today. Nothing is fixed except by our own will. And that's where free will comes in. Because, yes, we have contracts that solidify our journey where we don't have much room as far as like we're meeting the same people over and over again, same patterns, but we have a choice to break that pattern. We have a choice of shifting and changing our perspective, of not being driven by fear, by anger, by hate, by blame, by guilt. All of those, actually, according to Access Consciousness, are distractor implants, but according to Akashic Records, those are emotions that are stuck. And they're patterns, again, programming that we've been programmed either by prior lifetimes or this lifetime. Could be in the childhood. We've seen the pattern with our parents and we're repeating the same pattern over and over again. Or we did something and got punished for it, and we created another pattern in our lives. So it doesn't matter where the pattern comes in, it still can be shifted and changed. You can learn Akashic Records, like accessing the field. I do basic class, like it's basics of Akashic Records where you go in, you learn the basic tools. They're not basic, but like the prayers, the forgiveness, the letting go of contracts, clearing entities. There's a lot of prayers in the basics of Akashic Records. There is about, I think, 15 or 16 grace points in the basics of Akashic Records, and a lot of meditation that shifts and changes the patterns. It's a 2-day class, 6 hours each. And it's funny because I remember facilitating class in Israel and they didn't realize it was 6 hours, not 8-hour class. And I'm like, no, 8 hours is too long to be in that energy. And it was funny, exactly at 6 hours and 5 minutes, everybody was like, okay, we're done. And so my invitation is just play. And you don't have to take a class. The prayer, the forgiveness prayer is, I believe, in a lot of places on Facebook, on my profile somewhere, and Instagram. So I might share it again. And if you register, you actually will get a copy of that with a recording. So just play with that. One of the recommendation is 9 times in the morning, 9 times at night for 30 days and see what happens. And just a little advertisement. My book comes out, Choose Joy, Choose You, on April 2nd. And it will be discounted to $2.99. So you're welcome to buy the digital as soon as it comes out. And I love you. And if you have any questions, you can ask them right now. or we can meet again sometime. There is another introduction, but it's a full introduction, 3-hour class. That's going to be at the end of April to get right before the basics of Akashic Records. And you're welcome to join that. That will be live and online. Mm.